We have a quorum. Welcome to the Menacing Valley Board of Education meeting for June 20th, 2019. Will everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have approval of the minutes. Be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent, approves the minutes of the regular meeting of the Board of Education on June 6, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Being that there's none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. We will move on to the welcome to the visitors portion. Oh, you got it already?
Yep.
Okay. We'll start with Peggy Shealy. Oh, there you go.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are you? It's great to see all of you again. It's been a while. I see some of you once in a while, but it's been a little bit. First and foremost, I come tonight on behalf of Project Graduation. And as always, I'm sure we all say, wow, another year is fast approaching and fast ending. I can't believe this is my 10th year doing this. And each year with the seniors, it's always exciting. But I can't thank all of you enough. The administration, the Board of Ed, the families, the faculty, the staff. I mean, everybody from soup to nuts always supports this to keep our kids safe on campus so they can celebrate one last time, together with their friends. And it's always a great cause. Times get harder. And it gets tougher every year. We used to be able to pull this off, but honestly, it takes two full years to actually raise enough money to put on one project graduation. So these kids, their families, their parents, we actually start probably in like their sophomore year, so by the time their senior year comes, they're ready to have a good final celebration here at Menacing. So with that said, I brought 3 seniors with us tonight. They were available, and I said, you know what? You have anything going on? They go, no, what did you want to do, Mrs. Shealy? You need help with something? And I said, no, but you're going to a board meeting for the first time. And that's how you're going to learn what it's like. So go ahead.
I would like to address the Board of Education. My name is Ryan Johansson, and I've spent the last 13 years here at Menacing. I can't believe next Friday I'll graduate and head on to SUNY Portland. On behalf of the class of 2019, I would like to thank all of you for supporting our district. If things go good or bad, you always try to protect us kids. We hope you will come out to our project graduation party on the 28th to celebrate with us. You can get a free tattoo, ride the mechanical bull, or just hang out. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you there.
To Mr. Monahan and your staff. I'm Ian Swain, and after 6 generations of Monahans, which no, is not like Mr. Monahan, have crossed that football field, and I think they saved the best for last, me being a little cocky. My family has a long history here, and I'm glad that I was able to grow up in the same town and have the same experiences they did. After hearing about Project Graduation for so many years, I am glad I finally get to go, which is very true. Everyone knows that it's not easy doing what you do, Mr. Monahan, but you always make an effort to be there at every single event, which I know from a football standpoint is great. So with that said, on behalf of the class of 2019, we would like to give you one of our class shirts. I'll do that now. There you go. And on top of that, you can wear that with us to Project Graduation, have some fun. Maybe even ride a mechanical bull. So, thank you
Okay,
again.
I'll embarrass them. I won't say who, but we had some members there last year that enjoyed a bounce house and some Twister. Just saying.
So thank you again for allowing Mrs. Shealy, my mom, Mrs. DeRose, and everyone else who works so hard keeping all of us safe on campus and having fun. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Casey Jozembowski, and unlike these two who were at this campus for the past 13 years, I consider myself a lucky one. I was fortunate to experience the best of both worlds. I attended the Otisville campus from K through 5 before coming here, and I enjoyed my 6 years there and then my last 7 here. I was lucky to make friends from all different areas and experience lots of clubs, sports, and activities that were offered both in Otisville and here at Menacing. So for that, I want to say thank you. I'm only one of of kids here at Minisink, but what everyone should know is that we are very fortunate to have grown up in an area that has given us some great opportunities. So as I get ready to head on to SUNY Cortland, I would like to say thank you on my behalf of the class of 2019 for letting us celebrate together our project graduation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want each of you to know that I guarantee you I will be there and proudly wearing my 2019 shirt for you, because it has been an absolute pleasure. Because 4 years ago we started a journey together. We started out in high school, and I started here as a superintendent coming back to Minisink Valley. And here we are 4 years later, all growing up together, learning, becoming educated, learning about each of our things that we have to do, and now here you are graduating, and I get to be part of that with all of you. So at the start when you came in, and here when you're leaving, I get to be part of it with all of you. And I look forward to spending that night with you and having a lot of fun and watching all of you ride the mechanical bull. I probably won't be doing that. So. All right? All right. Thank you.
Peggy?
We will move on to the superintendent's report. Thank you very much, Peggy.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you, and I appreciate
Oh,
you guys
that's
having
yours.
us
Oh,
back.
forget it, Peg.
Yeah, no, it's good, thank you.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. So I wanted to provide the results of the budget vote from Tuesday night. We had probably an additional 500 voters who came out to vote on the budget revote with the tax levy at 2.46. We had a $95.3 million spending plan, which represents a little bit more than $4.6 million reduction from our 2018-19 budget. The results of the budget vote was 2,449 votes to 1,085, which represented an approval rating of 69.3%. I'd like to take an opportunity to thank the community for coming out and voting and exercising your right to vote. We thank the community for the support in putting this budget forward and providing the opportunities to our children. We know we had to make a lot of difficult decisions in putting forward that budget, and we had to make a number of cuts to get to the level that we felt the community could support. We know we have work to do with the community, and we are going to start that process moving forward coming this start of July 1. What I want the board to think about as we move forward, we are moving our board meetings for the summer again to 6 o'clock start times. One of the things I want the board to think about, the possibility of maybe moving our board start times a little earlier to maybe 7 o'clock, and seeing if that may help to encourage and provide more opportunities for people to come out to the board meetings. Another thing I was thinking of doing, and I want the community to know this, is I want an opportunity to speak to everybody. I want to hear from people, in particular our critics. I want people to come in and talk. So what I'd like to start to do, and I'm going to figure out how to put all of this together, but I'd like to provide an opportunity probably once a month and have 20 or 30 people from our community sign up to come in and spend some time with me or with myself and Mr. Flaherty and sit down and talk to us. Tell us what the concerns are. What are things that we could do better? A coffee talk hour. But we want to hear from people, okay? We want people to participate. We want to know what's going on. I want everybody to understand. I'm a resident of this community. I live here. I'm a parent in the district. I'm on the ball fields. I'm on the lacrosse fields. Any of the sports, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, wherever we are, wherever I'm at, I want people to know, if you have a question or a concern, come up and talk to me. I look forward to speaking to everybody. My life is this community, and I want to hear from everybody from what we're doing well and where we can do better. Please, I want you to approach me. Our board members here are incredibly approachable. They're involved in every one of the activities I just named and more. Come and talk to us. We want to hear from you. It's important for us going forward to make sure we're doing the best we can for our students, the best we can for our faculty and staff, and the best we can for our community. We're all in this together moving forward, and we want to hear from you, and we look forward to hearing from you. With that said, I need to have a motion. Be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent, approves the results of the June 18, 2019 budget revote. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? I just have something to say. I wanted to thank the community for their support of the budget. The revote was, it shows that this is all our community, and we all care about our school district very, very deeply. And I'm just very, very happy that the community came out and supported the budget the way they did. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. We will move on. Thank you, Mr. Monahan. We move on to Human Resources with Mr. Giardina.
Thank you, Mr. Flaherty. We have 3 resignations. Would you like to take them as a group?
Yes, sir.
Be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the following resignations: Marikis Buglio, Kelly McGoldrick, and Paul Galbo.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Being that there's none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Giardina. We will move on to Pupil Personnel Services.
Mr. Renato, I'll take this one, or were you taking this one?
Up to you, Mr. Monahan.
If you would like to, go right ahead.
Okay. The Committee for Preschool Education, Preschool Special Education met on 4 dates in April, May, and June. We'd ask the board to approve the arrangement for recommended placements.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Being that there's none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. The Committee on Special Education met on 25 dates in the months of March, April, May, and June. And we would ask the board to approve arrangement for the recommended placements made by the Committee on Special Education.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Being that there's none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Thank you very much, Mr. Renato. We will move on to the business portion with Mr. Bourgeois.
Thank you, Mr. Flaherty. The first item is asking the board to accept the claims auditor reports for the following warrants that are listed below.
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Being that there's none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
The next item is asking the board to establish a TRS sub-fund that was created by legislation this year. So we moved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, establish a TRS sub-fund reserve within the retirement reserve fund and reserve $100,000 as per the resolution below.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
I just have a question. The legislate, this is a mandate, or?
It's not a mandate, no. It's just for a number of years, school districts have been lobbying the legislature to allow the creation of a TRS reserve because there's currently only legislation for an ERS, a New York State Employees Retirement Reserve. So this is now granting the ability under the umbrella of the ERS reserve to now have it be a reserve for both retirement systems. So this is legislation that our attorneys provided to us, or I'm sorry, language that our attorneys provided to us to allow the district to authorize the creation of it and then to fund that reserve from monies that are already in the ERS reserve. We're just reallocating funds into reserves.
And how do we come to that number?
It was actually just as a placeholder to establish it this year moving forward.
Okay.
So they didn't establish a separate fund, they just, the legislation established a separate sub-fund under the ERS?
Under the ERS.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
Then the next item is asking the board to authorize potential reserve adjustments for the 2018-19 school year. We have a number of different reserves. Would you like to take them as a group? Okay, so be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve funding for the tax certiorari reserve, the employee benefit accrued liability reserve, the reserve for retirement contributions, workers' compensation reserve, unemployment reserve, and health insurance reserve.
So moved. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Being that there's none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
The next item is asking the board to approve a health services contract. We're asking the board to approve the health service contract for $3,553.72 with Pine Bush Central School District for the 2018-19 school year for 4 Menacing Valley students that attended private school in the Pine Bush School District.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Being that there's none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
The next item is asking the board to approve the declaration of obsolete equipment from the list that's below. We're asking the board, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, to declare the following items obsolete equipment for the purposes of disposing of the items to the highest responsible bidder and/or disposing of the items with no cost to the district.
So, second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Being that there's none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bourgeois. We move on to the report section.
And I'll be handling this one.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
So,
Monahan.
no problem. One of the things that we're required to do once we have accepted the results of the budget, as we said, we had a number of positions that were being abolished and layoffs that had occurred to achieve the $95.3 million spending plan. So therefore, what we have to do is the positions that are attached with people that are being laid off, we have to actually formally adopt a resolution eliminating those positions and then placing them onto the Pell list. So I have two motions. First, be it resolved that the board hereby abolishes the following positions effective close of business June 30, 2019. 2 FTE secondary math teacher positions, 1 FTE student assistance counselor, 1 FTE reading teacher position, 1 FTE business teacher position, 1 FTE art education teaching position, 2 FTE English teaching positions, 1 FTE social studies teaching position. Be it further resolved that the board clerk is hereby directed to provide written notice to those employees whose positions are hereby abolished as set forth in the memorandum to the board from the superintendent of schools dated 6/20/2019 and presented at this meeting in accordance with the provisions of section 3013 of education law, part 30 of the regents rules of the termination of their employment effective close of business June 30th, 2019. And be it further resolved that said employees who are entitled to part 30 bumping rights shall be notified in writing of their right to a position in previous tenure area of service and their placement on preferred eligibility lists in the tenure area or areas of their employment regarding their statutory recall rights. And be it further resolved that said employees who are not entitled to part 30 bumping rights shall be notified in writing of their placement on a preferred eligibility list in the tenure area or areas of their employment regarding their statutory recall rights. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
How many years is that recall list?
The certificated persons are for 7 years.
Okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.
Okay. The second resolution is for non-pedagogical employees. Be it resolved that the board hereby abolishes the following positions effective close of business June 30, 2019. 4 FTE teacher aides, 18 part-time teacher aides, 2 FTE technology assistants, 1 FTE security aide, 4 FTE library clerks. Be it further resolved that the board clerk is hereby directed to provide written notice to those employees whose positions are hereby abolished as set forth in a memorandum to the board from the superintendent of schools dated 6/20/2019 as presented at this meeting. And be it further resolved that to the extent that there are more employees in the job title than the area remaining positions after consideration of bumping rights in accordance with the CSEA collectively negotiated agreement, the board clerk is hereby directed to provide written notice to those employees who shall be excessed of the termination of their employment effective close of business June 30, 2019, with further notice regarding recall rights, if any. And be it further resolved that said employees who are in the competitive class of the civil service shall be notified in writing of their placement on preferred list regarding their entitlement to recall for a period of 4 years from the date of the abolition of their position in accordance with section 80 and 81 of civil service law. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Being that there's none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Where is that? It's not on us. It's not on us. So, do you want me to mention? Okay, I'll scrub it. Okay. All right, this is on the public agenda, but we will not be voting on this because the budget passed, but the facility use item on the public agenda is no longer needed to be voted on, so thank you. Thank you, Debbie. We will move on to,
I'll handle the next one as well.
okay,
Each year, we recognize our employees who have achieved perfect attendance for the school year, and I'd like to read their names into the record. So for the 2018-19 school year, the following individuals have perfect attendance: Suzanne Balfour, Matthew Bourgeois, Aaron Brown, Richard Budd Jr., Stephen Caldwell, Stephanie Caprolingua, Cynthia Correcchia, Megan Clark, Jonathan Clemens, John Del Regno, Dennis Devine, Susan Farley, Michael Giardina, Nicole Golder, Tara Gayette, Susan Helfrich, Andrew Hull, Laura Hull, Edward Kohler, Ellen Lane, Charles Lakeman, Deborah Leopold, Jacqueline Mazzagueros, Kevin McClintock, Anthony McCary, Matthew Nielsen, Thomas O'Donnell, Dominic Papa, Shane Peters, Ross Potter, David Roder, Jody Roder, Thomas Sauer, Beth Stanziski Wendell, Jill Stramiello, Diane Super, Pamela Trishita, Phyllis Sabritsky, and Sarah Zavola. We commend them on their perfect attendance for the year. We thank them for all of their service to the district.
Anything else? Okay, we're going to move on to the next portion, which is committee formation. Will board members please provide the district clerk with their committee preferences by July 6th? And if you're requesting the same committees as last year, just let her know that. Just a short email to her. Thank you. End of year Board of Education information. One is the self-evaluation of the board. The board self-evaluates itself basically on the goals that are set during the year, and then the how did we do in achieving our goals. And as we had 5 goals, we set up pretty well. It's just that on the one with the budget, we did not fall within the tax cap, so that we had to take a little hit for that. Unfortunately, we couldn't, with the finances of the district, we could not stay within the tax cap this year. And reorganization, you want to turn that, Brian?
Yep, we're going to have the reorganization meeting for the Board of Education will be July 11th at 6 p.m. here at the middle school auditorium. Okay, so we will handle all of that. And again, as usual, Mr. Rhoda will open up the meeting because you will have to elect a president and vice president of the Board of Education. So our board clerk will be running the meeting to start with. Okay.
The only thing I would add to that is I would still like to be your president if you want me to, and if any other board members wish to take officer positions, let myself, Bill, and Brian and the district clerk know. Would anybody else
I would
interested at this
also
time?
be interested in remaining as vice president, up to your will, if nominated.
Thank you. And if anybody else is interested, just let us know so that we can let everybody else know. Thank you. That's it. Any other business before the board? No. Being that said, I have a motion to enter an executive session to discuss a matter of personnel and a matter made exempt under federal law FERPA. The board may take action after executive session, and Margot May, an attorney for the school district, is going to attend executive session.
So
I have a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Being that there's none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Thank you all for coming this evening. Please get home safely.